This is still pretty much my reference standard for medium-sized packs, the Kelty Redwing. Reviewed here in the Nutnfancy project, I think back in 2008. I'll annotate that right now. I just love the Redwing. It is not the lightest pack around, but it is one of the most versatile and durable. It has survived the test of time. This pack here I think is a circa 2004 Redwing, and they have changed the design over time, like I said in that video way back when. A reference standard, seriously, it's so versatile, carries a lot of gear, about 3,500 cubes, 3.5 pounds is a Kelty Redwing. Go to that video and you can see all the details. Here's a newer version. This one's, I think, circa 2011 Redwing. Just as outstanding. It just is a fabulous pack. They've upgraded the materials, kind of made it more streamlined, side pockets. If there is one disadvantage of the Redwing, it's that you don't get that many color choices. That could be a big disadvantage depending on who you are and what you're doing. For instance, if you're a troop in Afghanistan, this is not a horrible color, but is it the best? Welcome to the Nutnfancy Tabletop Review on a variation of this outstanding medium-sized backpack. And it is the MAP 3500 from Amron International. This one's been being used here in the Nutnfancy project for about 2 years. I have several. They're excellent. It's basically a Kelty Redwing with a tactical bent. And the colors it comes in are just excellent. It's, again, a Redwing. You can get it in, I think, Desert Tan, Coyote Brown. This is Foliage Green. They also have Multicam, Anaconda Green, Gray, and then Black for the Amron International MAP 3500. Let me talk to that just for a second. I think MAP stands for Multi-Day Assault Pack. I'm going to call it a multi-hour assault pack for me. You longtime team peers know where I'm coming from. I mean, this is basically a 2,300 cubic inch pack. If you can do a multi-day expedition out of this, I want to see it. That's right, I'm calling you out. I want to see it because you're going to have basically a ground sheet, maybe a little tiny bivy sack and freeze dried. Oh, and then you're still going to run out of room. I just gotta laugh, man. The whole multi-day or 3-day assault pack nomenclature that the whole industry uses, I don't buy it, not even a little bit. There's no way you're gonna have room, especially if you're weaponized. If you're carrying ammunition, optics, rangefinders, tools for that weapon, if it goes down, maybe some knives, first aid kit. You guys have heard me preach this so many times, I just gotta laugh. All this stuff, you're gonna fit it in a 2,300 cube pack? No, not gonna happen. No way, dude. And I'm just, it's funny. Let's be realistic. It's a day pack, or in my case, a multi-hour excursion pack. Like if you're going long-range shooting for an afternoon, it's perfect. For that, yeah. If I don't have to fit in sleeping gear, extra clothing, socks, then yeah, I can do it. If it's just weapon stuff, maybe some water, some snacks, one optic, yeah, it'll fit. And I think in your systems, TMPers, you should have a range of packs. If you're mobile, a mobile adventurer, I should say, you should have a small range of packs. They don't have to be expensive. This one is not expensive. A medium range of packs, 1, 2 in that range, and then large frames. Maybe it's an external frame, a large internal frame pack. And then you're pretty much covered. Then when your adventure comes up, I'm talking to LE military dudes too, then you could go, okay, for this, I'm going out for 5 days, this pack's too small, I'm gonna go to the large category. That to me is a workable and realistic system, not based on marketing, okay? And it's coming from me, a backpacker since the freaking 1970s. It's just the way it is. And you won't see it vary up too much. But that being said, there's a ground rule. Kind of a day pack, a medium-sized pack. Pretty much everything else is perfect on this pack. Near perfect. There's a couple things I would change. Look at this color first off. That is foliage green. That's one of my favorite of the MAP 3500. The name's kind of misleading, isn't it? Because you're like 3500, it should be 3500 cubes. Nope, 2300 cubes. The measurements are 21 inches tall, 14.5 inches by 6.5 inches. I'm not sure if that's counting all the pockets. Maybe when you add in the pockets, it's going to be a little bit more. The one big variation on the MAP 3500, by the way, is the deletion of side pockets that you would see on a Redwing. So it's basically a Redwing medium without side pockets. I kind of wish it did have side pockets. I don't know if Amron sews it up that way because that would be a Redwing, and then Kelty says, hey, we can't do a pack that close. This is proprietary to Amron, by the way. I've been looking at it, and as I've said, using it for years. I'm finally getting the word out to you guys. The good news is these are large water bottle pockets, so they will accept easily liter bottles, and then also they'll accept a rifle. That's right, you just put your buttstock right here, go in the underneath cinch strap, the compression strap, and you can cinch a rifle in. I've carried guns that way. 22s work really well. When you go center fire, the pack's a little bit small for that. You can do it in a pinch. No side pockets. You got mesh pockets on each side. I want to start on the back, I guess. The good news and bad news, not just with this pack, but all of them, is it's going to be comfortable and ventilated because it's got that mesh backing to it. That is very comfortable. It helps soak up sweat, and they provide just a little bit of aeration. It's not that great. You guys have been seeing me rock, actually this pack, I've shown it in some adventures. I've taken out in the woods multiple times on knife testing expeditions, snow adventures. This is a pack I wore at SHOT Show 2011, I think. This exact pack. It's a great SHOT Show pack. I ran into some other dudes had it too. They're like, dude, MAP 3500. It's kind of like a club. Whatevs. The bad news on the mesh is it will weed up on you. You get into weed seeds, they will work their way into the mesh just like anything that uses mesh, and then you've got a job on your hands. Break out the Leatherman, start de-weeding. Waist belt is exactly like the Redwing. It's good. I would kind of like it a little bit narrower if Kelty's listening. This is just a standard Kelty waist belt. If we go to, where's that new Redwing? I'm going to do a little comparison and contrast. Wrangling a bunch of nylon here. Bear with me. Basically the same system. A little bit of variance. This is a kind of a stiffer foam here. I would like it a little bit narrower. But that being said, it works great. I think they call it the Share Cinch system, this thing right here. So you just pull this to make adjustments. You can actually tuck it away under here. And I think, let me see. Yeah, it is removable. It's Velcroed under here. You can actually pull that entire waist strap off if you're doing a SHOT Show or something like that. Maybe I should have done that. I didn't even think about that at the time. What a doof. Good waistband. Here's your shoulder straps. They are excellent. Padded, again, mesh covered right here. Then you have some capabilities of attaching, I guess threading your Camelback hydration tube down yonder if you want. This is a very important aspect of the MAP 3500. I run these very tight because you don't have top cinching straps up here. Load adjustment straps like you do on some variations of Redwing. See that? I like those. And I run those tight too. What I'm just basically doing in both versions of the pack is I'm running those shoulder straps up here. That way, as I carry a lot of weight, and I have carried a lot of weight, especially when I do knife testing, we're talking easily 50 pounds in this thing. If you don't do that, the pack is actually going to fall away from your back, and it makes for kind of a cumbersome loadout. So I tighten these all the way. You can see how I'm running that. They work fine though. Once you tighten it up, you should be good to go. There's your routing pocket, just like in the Kelty Redwing for your water. Carry strap, nothing special here. I love the material on this. It's 500 denier Codra nylon, which is basically a Cordura, but it's not that really thick and heavy, overly thick and heavy Cordura nylon. Okay, that sucks. It's really wear resistant. I'm talking 1,000 denier stuff, but it's just too darn heavy. I think the 511 Rush 72 pack uses that. That, by the way, is an outstanding pack, but it's too heavy. And it's also too expensive. You know, it's selling for $250, and it's much heavier than this. This actually is lighter than the Redwing at about 3 pounds. This one. So it's an actually pretty light pack considering it has 500 denier fabric. Supposedly an ice axe loop, if you want to use that. You can actually carry anything that's kind of long and cylindrical, like a fishing tube. I'm trying to say a fishing rod tube if you collapse it, or just whatever will fit back here. I use the compression straps back here all the time. Usually it's a fleece jacket or something I'm just jamming underneath it. Maybe it's a snow shovel. For everything. Anything I can fit under there that's not fitting in the pack, you have some flow over. The 500 denier, I think I was going to say, is not perfect. It will wear and tear on you. The bottom has some reinforced tie loops for maybe a tent. If you're going to do that, if you're going to run 3 days with this, I guarantee you're going to be strapping all kinds of stuff to the exterior of this pack. The downside, I guess, is that it's not super reinforced. You don't have 1,000 denier reinforcement down here, but from me, Nutnfancy, I'm glad, because that would have added weight. And I'd rather have it a little bit on this particular pack and how I use it, maybe save 3 ounces by not having it. I cut the pack right here. That's actually a tear or a cut. And then I'm going to show you right now how I repaired that. Dang, I forgot to show you. It's like Kenyon brand tint repair tape. It's clear. This will take us to the interior of the pack. This is one reason I just love the MAP 3500 or the Kelty Redwing, same pack pretty much. Panel loading, that you just zip it in and dude, you can just load up, access everything. If you get a standard internal frame pack that's top loading, to get in it, you're always just digging down and throwing gear away. Not throwing it away, but sorting it out. It's a pain in the butt. And then with an internal frame, your loadout is actually pretty important where you're placing the gear. You don't want really hard things against your back. And so when you go into a top loading pack, you've just screwed up your whole load. Whereas with a panel load, I can actually compartmentalize it where I'm putting stuff. Maybe I have a stove, maybe it's extra boxes of ammunition. I want them in a certain place. I don't disturb that with a panel load. I can access it and get in it. It rules. I love panel load. The downside is it's a big zipper. It's going to add weight, so it's not as light as a top load internal frame pack. That's just life, but there's good weight and that bad weight, and that's good weight. Speaking of the zippers, they're YKK heavy duty, no failures of any kind. Great zipper pulls on the MAP 3500. Simple corded zippers. There's no metal clanking around. They're silent, not rattling. Great choice. Here's the repair job I did over here. So if you tear your packs, keep this in mind. There you go. That worked out pretty good. I just alcoholed it, and that's polyurethane coated on the bottom. That's a waterproofing, heavy waterproofing on this pack. And that'll give us an opportunity to look at the quality of the construction on this Kelty pack, which is pretty standard with Kelty. Notice this is seam taped all the way around. Well done. Excellent sewing. They didn't seam tape it here because not really needed. Add extra weight. Look at the sewing there. Stress points are triple stitched. Nice uniform stitching all the way around. Great job. Here's your hydration pocket right here. Put your camelback here. If there's one thing I would change, there are a couple things. I would have a hanger for that camelback. There should be a plastic hanger right here that I can just snip on. That's very versatile, so it'll accommodate all types of camelback or bladders if you're not using a camelback brand. Here comes the Kelty new version. This is a Redwing 50, by the way. I might break that out into its own review, just to give you a quick update. Here you go. There's some hangers right there. So that's nice, and it just gives you some more versatility. How about the differences in frame? Well, this is an evolving design, the Redwing. They're always changing the suspension system. This particular version, the newer one, has a polyurethane frame sheet, so it's a plastic frame sheet, and then it has, I believe, a stay running down the center of it. It's on the other side. Yeah, there it is right there. An aluminum stay that runs down the center. I have not hard hiked with this particular Redwing yet, so I suspect it'll be fine. The frame sheet's good. If I loaded it up, I mean really loaded up, I might be wishing for the dual aluminum stays that run across the shoulders. And that, by the way, that's what you're going to get with the MAP 3500. unless they change the design. Again, this is a couple years old. I think it's pretty much the same. So this goes in line with that original Redwing I throw on the table in the intro. Aluminum stays. If you really wanted to, you could take those out. They're pre-curved for your spine, your back. You won't have to change those, pre-bend them, do anything. They run in those little pockets right there. Another pocket right here. Now I'm probably wrong. This is right here your hydration bottle. Your hydration pocket right there. And then this will be, heck, it could be a laptop pocket. Your MacBook or your laptop would fit in there perfectly. So that's the main compartment. That'll take us to the exterior pockets. I think the pocket system on the Redwing is a little bit more extensive. This is your top pocket. Hot pocket, cool. Goes deep like that on top. And I use all my pockets. I gotta tell you, all the time. There's so much stuff. When I'm going out in the woods, like on an outing, whatever you want to call it, survival trek, I carry a lot of stuff, you know, fire making, signaling, first aid, the stuff I was mentioning earlier. So I don't like just throwing it into the main pocket here. It's just disorganized. It's hard to find. You can put mesh bags on it and organize a little bit. I already showed you that one. This is a sunglass pocket right here. Fleece. Excellent. Nice. You can put your phone back there too if you wanted to. And then you just have pin pockets here, a mesh for here, car keys, whatever you want. Pocket like that. Perfect color. Love this color. Finally, on this pack you have the compression straps. This is an important feature because you really want to lock that load down. I kind of wish it had compression strap. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of another pack. It does. This is what I was going to say. Lower compression straps. Some packs don't have this, and so you'll be able to compress top but not the bottom. And to me, it's like, you know, what's the purpose? Just an outstanding pack. I'm surprised how light it is. Really. Good day pack. Maybe single 3-hour expedition pack is what I'm going to call it. Another thing I like about the MAP 3500 is there's no extraneous MOLLE webbing on it. Sometimes manufacturers, in their attempt to market it as a tactical pack, get a little bit carried away with that. And I don't know if I'm a tactical dude, but I don't need that. One thing I don't like doing is if it has MOLLE out there, then I put a pocket on it and then my pack just keeps getting thicker, and big. And then my whole weight / balance equation is thrown out of kilter. You want it to ride very close to your body, and because of that, if you're going to do loads, load the heavy stuff close, well, depending on how you're loading, but that's how I do it often, and then I keep it very trim. If I have MOLLE strapping on the exterior of my pack, one is I'm carrying around nylon webbing that I'm not going to use. It's extra weight, and it's just unnecessary. Finally, Kelty MAP 3500. I'm going to read a review, and this review just rocks. It's on the Amron site, and this dude pretty much, there's a lot of great reviews there. You can go check them out, and they're going to echo what I'm saying here, that this pack is pretty much a 5-star pack. Look at my likability rating in the sidebar. This guy says, and apparently he's a troop coming from Afghanistan, I ordered the Multicam bag when it went on pre-order and had it sent to Afghanistan for me to use. I always had an AT4, an M320 strapped to the sides, extra ammo, food, equipment, water, etc. in the bag. It has walked with me for more than 100 miles in the Rocky Mountains, northeast Afghanistan, and be strapped to my truck for, this is how he wrote it, over 1,000 miles with multiple explosions. What a great review. And only one thing broke on it, and it was a clip. So great bag and still in almost perfect condition. It carried more than it was intended the whole time. I could carry the whole load out of a full-size ruck almost in it. Probably the most comfortable bag with and without armor I have ever used. Great review. That was from Henry. BUI is how he signed that name, and I could not agree more. I have not ran it in Afghanistan, obviously. He has, and this is a squared away pack. Additionally, I don't know if you caught it, it is available in Multicam. Now, if you're not familiar with Multicam 3-day assault packs, go look at the pricing on those. They're going to run right around where the 511 Rush 72 is at $250. That's a lot. They do pay Multicam licensing to Cry Industries. This one, check out the price on it. You will be very pleased. If I can get you a deal on this pack for my Nutnfancy Project subscribers, I'm going to put it in the side link and I'm going to annotate it right now. And I'm going to even save you more money on the MAP 3500. It is a great pack. Medium sized, that means it has some limitations. We've talked about that. Other than that, highly recommended. That is the Nutnfancy review. Thanks.